I already know the CFMOTO 800MT-X is a good adventure tourer and commuter, but is it good off-road?
No. Big tines digging in. Threading the needle. Whoa. It's gonna be a long day. I'm not getting anywhere here, guys. And I'm walking for help.
So my bike has been pretty modified. We got the bark busters, crash bars, AXP bash plate, engine tune, high flow filter, snorkel delete, tail tidy, mate, probably a few other things as well, like the rally seat and rally pegs. But probably the biggest thing we've got for today are the Motos Desert HT tyres. Now the stock tyres are really limiting off-road, so I'm super keen to see how it performs with a good set of heaps on it.
Let's get stuck straight into the single track, shall we? Whoa, really muddy. Woohoo! So our biggest concerns today are going to be the weight. I don't think I've ever done this trail. And it's wet, I'll tell you that for sure. The weight's going to be the big one. Also the width of the tanks. I haven't really tested that before. Thermo fan's already kicked in. Oh, let the motors eat! Up in the pegs. Rally pegs, freaking mint. No flame outs. I am using the clutch a lot. No. No flame outs. Want to make me look like a dickhead? Just give it more revs. Oh shit, it's getting technical. Gonna need a bit of run up here, I think. Nah, it's been raining a bit. Perfect conditions for a dirt bike, but when you're on a big girl, yeah, you don't want it too wet. That's what she said. Let's get up in the pegs as fast as we can. Momentum is key. Ah, slipped out. Yeah, I'm paddling. Eat it, Motos, eat it! Why am I not in the pegs? Because it's bloody hard when you're on a big block like this and going slow. Out of shape. Hell of a warm up, guys. Hell of a warm up. Oh, now we go down. Test that front ABS. You can't turn it off. You can turn rear ABS off, which is off now. Woo! Thread the needle. Whoa! Little hill climb. Suspension held it pretty well, to be honest. These tires are digging in. Woo! In a second. Get the big girl! Let her dance. Let her move and shake. It's like a good woman. Gotta let him dance a bit. You're just gonna hang on and go for the ride. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Yeah, boy! Hill climb. Some erosion mounts. Oh, she jumps over the place a bit. Oh, yeah. Rocky. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Bit of air time. First gear's not too bad. Look, it's road gearing, but it's more than adequate with this kind of riding. It handles these small erosion wounds really well. Yeah, across we go. Yeah, I'm liking this, guys. That sounded f***ing awesome. Second gear on this flowy stuff when I'm just cruising, absolutely spot on. Loves it. Suspension's working great as well, actually. That's the most surprising thing of the day so far. But I've noticed on this downhill section, if you start to push a bit, the front ABS can kick in. It's not great. When it's over this skatey rock stuff, see this stuff? It'll do it. Just a tiny bit. But very manageable. Muddy. Geez, these tyres are really bloody good, guys. Well, this is why you never trust a motorbike stand. A bit of a drop test, I suppose. Not that I wanted to do one, but here we are. I don't pick himself up, unfortunately. And people say to do this a million different ways. I just pick the up like this. Just muscle it up. You can turn backwards and do all that, but you just do whatever you can do. Oh, it's heavy, isn't it? Let's assess how it falls. This bottom bash plate and the fuel tank took a heap of it, which is great. And the bark busters. And you can see it touch down here as well. And the backside there, up towards the tail. People have been asking, do you need crash bars? Well, doesn't hurt having them. Now this was incredibly easy on the DRZ I recently had. It's really wet on the on-ramp and it's a bit of a jump. I'm a bit nervous, guys. It's a big bike. It's a really heavy bike. Easy. I've said it in the past, but I swear, off-road riding, 50% of it is just having a go. Like that, I was like, oh, stuff it. I'm just gonna have a crack at this. Went over so easily. I'm impressed with myself and the bike. Second gear, pulls well from down low. Then it winds out. I've been looking forward to this track. Oh, there's a kick on that. She's got some balls. Up the pegs, do that rougher section. Would I do that faster on an enduro bike? Knows I would. I'd do it way faster. However, I had an absolute blast doing that descent. Alright, tight, loamy, single track. It's pretty muddy, to be honest. Whoa! Exhibit A. God, this rear tire's pretty good, guys. For a desert tire, it's one of the better ones I've used so far in the slop. It's just getting a bit wild. I don't know if it's a track, more of a water runoff. Oh, I think we can get out though. Don't go down there, Curtis. Is this a track? Oh, I don't know if it is anymore, guys. That's a bad climb to get out of. Pray for me, everyone. I've gotten out of a similar situation before. No charge on my phone. For some reason I took my charger out. This is going to be hard. This bit's okay. It's the next bit. Just need that momentum. Not a good start. That's the traction control. I don't need that right now. We've got a long way to go. Oh, I'm pushing a bit. That is a bad thing to have on an off-road bike. It's gonna be a long day. So I'm still at the bottom of the hill. There's a traction control alarm that's like popping up. So I'm hoping maybe this is contributing. I'm gonna let even more pressure out of the rear tyre. So up to the bit I was worried about. I actually got a decent run up to there. So there we go. Now I've got no momentum. Might be able to go back just a tiny bit. I'm not getting anywhere here, guys. We're at 10 psi. I'm going to drop it some more. Any just minor obstacle, it just spins on. It's such a tall bike, and when it goes, you just put your leg down, and then you're stuffed, and you can't get up in the pegs because you're not going. So I've stopped for a drinks break, and they cool the bike down. Struggle city here, guys. Let the tyre pressures down another like 3 times. They have the stiffest sidewalls of all time, by the way. I reckon I could run pretty much 1 psi on it and still have it'll still hold. That just proves it's not the type of tyre for this kind of riding, this sloppy stuff. Ah, man, and heavy bikes, as soon as you get in this kind of terrain, they're just awful. Whereas like DRZ or that KLX 300 I used to have would walk up here. It would just be easy as. But here we are. We'll give this a couple of goes. I don't think I'm gonna make it, and if not, we'll crisscross our way up the hill somehow. I made progress, but in the scheme of things, nothing. We're boiling, guys. We're boiling. It's coming out the top. And the steam's coming out there. All right, we're trying something different. That line I was on is not working, and I'm about to walk to someone to try and help me on the main road or something. I'm gonna try on the side of the track. I've kind of stepped in and cleared all the sticks and rocks in kind of the scrub. Hopefully I can get traction there, because that stuff there is just like clay slick. And I'm walking for help. Second time ever. Shame on me. I can't even walk up the bloody thing. I know I can't ride up it. So I'm gonna walk to a main road, walk on that till I run into someone and ask if they can walk back in and give me a push out. That's what I should have done. Hindsight's a bitch. I found a little shortcut. Thanks. Ah, the sweet sound of motorbike boots. I reckon any other day it would have been 10 cars or 10 bikes. I walked for ages. It's been no one. I can't hear any, all I can hear is birds. I was playing once and I thought that was a car, and I was like, nah. Oh man, my wife's gonna kill me. I'm gonna be very late. I was hoping this wouldn't be the longest I've walked when I've broken a bike or gotten stuck. That record's with my KLR. Man, that was a really long walk. That was hours. I knew I was going for a bushwalk. Would have worn different shoes. And my phone's dead, because I'm an idiot and didn't bring a charge today, so I haven't had a phone. Alright, we're walking up to the picnic area. There's usually people here. Hopefully there is. And we need a good Samaritan to help me. There's one car and no one in it. A huge parking lot down there and no one in that. Oh, come on. I've managed to wrangle a victim to help me. We'll see how we go. It's going to be a mission.
Okay, so I can come down there and lift it?
Yeah. I got this front here. I'm holding onto it. Oh, I nearly got there.
Is it on you?
Yeah. I'm versed in this. I'll be able to skull drag it. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Alright. Now
we try again. Well, we failed. Two of us couldn't get it, so I'm staying there overnight. Oh well.
So we officially failed yesterday, even with the help of that bloke. Couldn't get it out. So we're heading back. We got the ute. I've got my brother-in-law's gonna help me. I've got a snatch strap. We won't get the ute down, and then another mate is gonna help me as well. So fingers crossed after that we can get it out. I reckon 3 blokes will get it easy.
Tell me what you've done here.
I went down somewhere I shouldn't on an adventure bike by myself.
This looks pretty steep, mate.
It's very wet. If it was dry, it would be fine, mate.
Yeah.
Very moist, very moist.
It's in gear.
Do you want to jump on it? You got your gear on.
3 fellas makes it easy, doesn't it? So good.
Oh, mate, now we're home. Let's reflect on the ride. Now, that was supposed to be a standard off-road test. It wasn't meant to be a torture test. It just turned into that because I made that wrong turn, and here we are. It did allow me to discover some things I wouldn't have. First thing is that traction control. I had everything off. Let's stipulate that. I had traction control off and off-road mode enabled the whole ride. However, in that muddy stuff, traction control has like a fit on the dash. It's like it doesn't know what to do with all the wheel spinning, and it cuts out the bike. Then you have to cycle the ignition to get it to turn back on. It's like a tip over sensor has been activated. That's what I thought it was initially. So that's a really weird thing to have on the bike, and I'm going to keep an eye on that. Have you guys had that problem? People who've got 800MT-X's or 800MTs, let me know, because I've never heard it before. In terms of damage, completely fine. You got some scratches on the crash bars, but that's to be expected. The bash plate took a lot of heat. I think you definitely need one of those if you're doing hard off-road riding, and you certainly need a set of bark busters. They save me a lot of times. Now, I did manage to damage the rear brake light. That was completely my fault, because when I was trying to get out of that gully slash bottom of the hill, I went a different line and just came back, boom, into the back of a tree, and it just cracked. 230 kilos versus brake light, yeah, 230 kilos wins. And the weight, it is a heavy bike, guys. There's no way to avoid it. Yes, it's got those lower tanks which make it well balanced, but it's a heavy bike. There's no way to avoid it, and it's not made for single track at all. You can do it if you need to, but I would be avoiding that and sticking to your twin tracks and fire trails where I had an absolute blast. So my question for you guys is, have you ever been stuck? Have you ever had to leave your bike like I did today? I'm keen to hear your stories. Another one, thank you to the couple who tried to help me. I really appreciate it, and they also gave me a lift nearby, which was really nice of them. They'll probably never ever watch this, but if you do, thank you. All right, if you haven't, click that subscribe button. Check out my other content. Keep it on the back wheel. Catch us.